Hey there, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nina Elaine. I am the CEO and founder of Empress Incarnated, and it is just a safe space for women to heal from trauma and to level up and create their life by design, not by default. So I would love for you to become part of the fam, the soul tribe, the soul group. So if that's something that interests you and if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe below. It helps the channel to grow and also helps me to know that you're resonating with the content that I'm creating. So today's video is so near and dear to my heart because it talks about something that is literally 50% of my work, 50% of my work, and it is called shadow work. So in a nutshell, shadow work is a collection of introspective psychological practices with the goal of seeing what's in your subconscious mind, clearing out the junk and reprogramming it with the positive, the good, the things that we want to show up in our conscious waking life. There is so much I could say about it, and I will definitely have a lot of other videos linked below and the sort so that you guys can learn more about shadow work and what I do with my clients. I just wanted to give that short little introduction to shadow work to really get into now why there are so many misconceptions and like what those misconceptions are, because I feel like there's so much cloudiness, there's not enough understanding of what shadow work is. The first thing that I think is a huge misconception about shadow work is that you have to do it with a healer, a therapist, etc., etc., etc. That is not a requirement, guys. It is not a requirement to do shadow work with a healer or a therapist or acupuncturist or anybody. It's not a requirement. You can do shadow work all on your own, and the majority of the shadow work that you do in your life is going to be on your own. However, when you're getting started on this journey, and even throughout rough patches on the journey known as dark nights of the soul, there are times when you're gonna need help, right? We're not here alone, we don't do it alone. So the times where you need help, that is when you go to a healer, that is when you go to a therapist, that is when you go seek out someone else that is skilled and knowledgeable in methods that they can help you to get into the subconscious mind and figure out where it is you're blocked and where it is that you're stuck. So it is not a requirement to work with a therapist or a healer, etc., etc. However, it's a really good idea, especially when you are struggling and you know you need the help. Shadow work is really going into the subconscious mind, and it's dark, right? It's scary, it's all the things that we've repressed, and a lot of times we need help going down there so we don't get stuck and get lost in that darkness. And so that's what a shadow work practitioner like myself or a therapist or something like that does. We help to guide you there and then work with you in there and then bring you back into the light, the conscious world, so you don't get lost or confused. We don't want to keep you in the dark. We want to bring you to the dark to show you what's in there so that we can now integrate. Integration is a huge part of this practice, which I don't think is talked about enough, so that you can integrate and use those lessons in your life to become a better person, to help then raise the consciousness of the collective. Number two that I find as far as like misconceptions about shadow work is that it is not necessary for growth. That is complete BS. It is the most necessary component of personal spiritual development that there is, because like I said, it's introspective. It allows you to go within and not without. So when it comes to shadows, a lot of people project their shadows onto others because they're not aware of it, or because they don't want to be aware of it, or they don't want to admit that they have this thing as a shadow. When we're able to go inward and we're able to really find out what's going on within us, it allows us to see things from a different perspective. And that's what I love about shadow work. So it is absolutely necessary. It is not something that you can just move around or not do and think that you're going to be able to experience some depth in your life, right? So I love this quote by Carl Jung, who coined the phrase the shadow self. The quote talks about, no tree can grow to the heavens unless its roots stretch down into hell. And that is so key and important in understanding that the depths of feeling that you have, you can only go that high. So like I talked about in the toxic positivity video, and if you do not know and if you have not watched it, I will link it for you. I really demonstrate visually how that works, of how like you can only go so far in experiencing happiness because you've gone so far in experiencing sadness, right? There's like a limit. So that is a big misconception. It's absolutely necessary. It is not something that you can bypass. Spiritual bypassing is a real thing. It is not something that you can bypass and expect to grow spiritually and personally. Probably the biggest misconception about shadow work is that there is one way, or that there is one method of shadow work. That is absolutely not true. Like I said, shadow work is a huge accumulation of so many different kinds of introspective practices. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not more, ways to do shadow work. And so, for example, journaling is a great way to do shadow work. For example, acupuncture, for example, yoga, for example, breath work. They're all different, right? And so whatever resonates with you and your soul at that time in your life will be the practice that will call to you. And it doesn't matter what practice you do as long as you're doing the work in some way, shape, or form. So right now in your life, yoga could be your way. It could bring you there. It can get you into a space of self-realization, of understanding things about yourself, and yoga could be it for you. In 10 years, you might discover breath work, and breath work is the thing that gets you there. Maybe in addition to yoga, maybe not. Maybe yoga doesn't resonate with you at that time. It is truly such a beautiful thing because there are so many ways to do it, and it's really personal. It's a personal practice, which is why as a practitioner of shadow work, when I work with my clients, I cater it to them. What do they need? What are they looking for in particular? And I love to do that because it allows them to see that there are options. It is not a one-way street, right? There are so many different roads that you can take when it comes to shadow work. Those are my biggest 3 misconceptions that I've heard about shadow work. I hope this cleared some of that up. Like I said, there will be videos linked below and also within the video. I would love to have you all in my Facebook group. And of course, I am taking clients for my signature programs if you're interested. Everything is linked below, and I'm really hoping that you guys got some good stuff from this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on shadow work, how you do shadow work, if you learned anything new in this video, and just anything else that you want to share with other people that might watch this video that will find it helpful. Also, like I said in the beginning, if you resonate with this content, if this is the type of content that you love, I would love for you all to subscribe below. It just helps me to see that you resonated with the video, and then also allows me to just make more videos. I'm going to be going deeper into these topics on Patreon, so if that's something that you're interested in, you can subscribe to Patreon below. Everything will be linked, like I said, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Peace and blessings.